we're going to talk about percent, sales tax, discounts, and some common errors in percent. So if I have a fraction and I want to move that fraction to a percent, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that fraction out. I'm going to divide the numerator by the denominator. I'm going to take that decimal, I'm going to multiply it by 100, and then I'm going to add the percent sign. So here I have 5/8, and I want to express this as a percent. So the first thing I'm going to do is go 5 divided by 8. Well, if I don't know what 5 divided by 8 is, I'm going to use a calculator to get my decimal. So that gives me 0.625. I'm going to take 0.625, I'm going to multiply it by 100 and get 62.5. Then I'm going to add the percent sign, so 62.5%. That gives me from fraction to percent. Now, if I'm in a decimal, I'm already in this decimal. So I don't have to do step 1. I'm going to go straight to step 2, step 3. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 100 and then add the percent sign. So if I have 0.47, I'm going to go ahead and take 0.47 times 100 and get 47 and then add the percent sign. So I'm going to get 47%. Okay? If I have a percent and I want to move it to a decimal, okay? The nice thing about this is this time order doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I add the percent sign or remove the percent sign, then divide by 100, or divide by 100, then remove the percent sign. I'm just kind of trying to keep it in that kind of that same idea, so you kind of have the same methodology. Well, if I'm moving from a percent to a decimal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide now by 100, and then I'm going to remove the percent sign. So if I start with 19%, I'm going to divide 19 by 100 and get 0.19. Here I said I have 0.19%, and then I'm going to remove the percent sign, so I have 0.19. Okay? If I'm in a decimal and I want to move it to a fraction, I'm going to look at this number and I'm going to put this number over 1 with that many zeros behind it. So this would be 19 over 100, and then reduce accordingly. Sales tax. Sales tax is an important item to understand because so many places have a sales tax incorporated into it. So sales tax is, how we're going to find the sales tax amount is we're going to go tax rate times the item's cost. That's going to give me how much sales tax I have. Okay? So if my sales tax was 7.5% and my price was $894, the way I'm going to find my tax paid is this is going to be $894 times, and I'm going to convert this to a decimal, 0.075. A lot of your calculators actually have a percent button, so you could just put it in as 0.75%. I'm going to put it as a decimal just to kind of refamiliarize myself there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 894 times 0.075. And I get sales tax of $67.05. Okay? Now, for my total cost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my original and I'm going to add my sales tax. Okay? So I'm going to add 894, not 96, 894 to that, and I get 961.05. So I have a new, this is how much I have. So when you go to the store and you want to buy something, every time you buy something for $1, you have to add 7.5 cents. Okay? Sales tax, we're going to add to it. Well, if I have a discount, what's going to happen is I'm going to find my discount amount. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my discount amount. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my discount rate times my original price. Okay? So that tells me how much I've been discounted. So if my original price was $1,460 and I have a discount of 15%, if I want to find my discount amount, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these together. 0.15. Okay, so I have 1,460 times 0.15, and that gives me 219. That's my discount amount. So if I want my sales price, I'm going to take my original price minus my discount amount. Okay? And so that's going to give me my new value of 1,241. So there's my new amount. There are a lot of ways to handle discount. So one of the things is let's say I have, if my discount is, let's use 10%. Okay. Sometimes it's easier to multiply these. Actually, let's change this. Let's make this. Let's do 40%. Okay. So if my discount is 40%, we're going to pick a nice easy number. Let's say my price was $20. All right. Now this is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We could do it just like up here. We could take our price times our discount amount and then subtract that. Well, another way to look at this is if the discount is 40%, that means my new price has to be 60% of my original. So I can actually go like this and go 20 times 0.6. The reason I get 0.6 is, remember, my discount and my original have to add up to 1, right? It has to add up to my original. So I can just subtract this from here and get that this is $12. It doesn't really matter. It's just whatever's easiest for you. So if I want my new sales price, all I have to do is multiply. In this example, I could take 1,460 and multiply it by 0.85, and that would give me this price right here. If they want each piece, obviously you're going to do them individually. Percent of change. Now this is a very easy area to make a mistake in. A lot of people make mistakes in percent of change. So what a percent of change is it's your original minus your new, okay? Oh, sorry, I have that backwards. We want new minus original. New minus original. Sorry about that. And what's going to happen, then we're going to divide that by our original. So if that value is positive, we have an increase. If it's negative, we have a decrease. Okay? So when we're looking at here, my percent of change is, here is going to be 160 minus 100 over 100. So now I have 60 over 100, or 0.6, for a 60% increase. Okay? So this is very, very common place that people make mistakes on in percentages. A lot of times they'll say, oh, well, this is 160% increase, and they divide these out and say that's the percent of change. That's actually not how we do it. So be very careful in percentages. A lot of times when you're listening to commentators and they talk about percentages, a lot of times they're actually doing these percentages incorrectly. So make sure you understand, anytime they say percent of change, if they give you the values, make sure that it's actually what it's saying, okay? So that's kind of looking at percent, sales tax, discount amounts, percent of change, how we can incorporate, avoid errors in understanding percent.